Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is in big trouble. Solskjaer has serious questions to answer after Man United's 1-0 defeat to Aston Villa at Old Trafford. It was the first time Aston Villa won at Old Trafford in 12 years. Obviously, Aston Villa's winning goal came from Courtney Hose. Bruno Fernandes missed a penalty in the 93rd minute of stoppage time, so he missed out on the opportunity to salvage a point. We had 28 shots in the game. Two home defeats in a row for Manchester United. 0 goals scored. We've lost 3 of our last 4 matches. Furious Man United fans demand Solskjaer to be sacked, as Ole out trends following 3 losses in 4 matches. I think Solskjaer could be sacked by Christmas. If not, he will be sacked at the end of the season. He's not the long-term manager for Manchester United. Obviously, there is United fans that are asking for Conte in. Well, the other week he said Antonio Conte would accept the Man United job if Solskjaer was to be sacked. Conte wants a winning project, so he rejected Arsenal and he rejected Tottenham. Conte's got a good pedigree behind him, won a lot of silverware in his home nation. Plus he's managed in the Premier League before. When he was in his first season at Chelsea, he won the Premier League. Conte is available because he left Inter Milan at the end of last season. But some people reckon that if Conte came at Man United, he'd do a good job and he'd suit the strappings of the club. I think there's some United fans that are calling for Zinedine Zidane. You know, Solskjaer is not the manager that's going to get us to that level where we want to be. Solskjaer has to win a trophy this season to basically save his job. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Well, last weekend Solskjaer did mention that we must leave a legacy of silverware. Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years ago now. And on paper, we should be winning the Premier League because we've got a title-winning squad, so there's no excuses. This season is Solskjaer's third full season as Manchester United manager. And I did mention, that this season was going to be massive for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. Our board have a lot of trust in Solskjaer. Obviously, Solskjaer got good backing in this year's summer transfer window. Our owners, the Glazers, had backed him, but only because they'd been persuaded to. Because towards the end of last season, the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League, and reflecting on that, United fans were protesting against the Glazers at the Carrington training ground. Then they protested against the Glazers outside Old Trafford. But Solskjaer did reveal that the Glazers apologised. The Glazers have put Manchester United in so much debt, and that's the main reason they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. The Glazers have been with us for 16 years. They purchased the club for 500 million back in 2005. John Murtough also backed Solskjaer in the summer transfer window. John Murtough is our director of football, and we made the right decision getting a director of footballing, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. Darren Fletcher also backed him, and we made the right decision recommending Darren Fletcher back into the club. Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club in the summer. It was a 3-year contract with an option of a further year. And like I mentioned, we made a mistake giving him that new contract because he won't see it out. Prior to the Aston Villa game, it said that Solskjaer's job is safe for now, but future may depend on the Champions League. Like I've said to you before, when we are inconsistent and when we've been inconsistent, not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer. Obviously, he's accountable for certain things, but obviously there's certain players that have got to take responsibility, because there's still some players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club. Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager now for almost 3 years. The reason he's lasted as long as he has done is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved his job. Disregarding being a club legend, I can almost assure he would have been sacked by now. Solskjaer has no proven pedigree as a manager. Hasn't won out at Manchester United yet as a manager. Before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He enjoyed 2 spells at Molde, and before Molde he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was disastrous. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. Solskjaer's decision making also has to improve, because analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. Solskjaer's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason we gave him the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. And obviously some United fans thought we did make a mistake giving him the job permanently. Maybe we should have waited until the end of that particular season to decide or not whether to give him the job. You know, these things I've got to give Solskjaer credit for. Progress has been made under Ollie, because obviously he's got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. Obviously got us to the EFL Cup semi-final last season. He got us to the Europa League final last season. That was his first major final as Man United manager. Also got us to the FA Cup quarter-finals, so there you go. Last season, Solskjaer got us a second place finish. In his first full season, got us a third place finish. Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager. You know, Solskjaer signed 14 players so far. And we've spent like 441 million in total under the Solskjaer era. So in the summer of 2019, Ollie recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. Back in January 2020, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odion Ighalo in on loan. Let Ighalo go in January. In the summer of 2020, he brought Edison Cavani in, Donny van der Beek, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. Loaned Pellistri out in the summer transfer window. And in this year's summer transfer window, we made 4 signings. Brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Villa. Brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. Brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid. And we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. We spent around 141 million in this year's summer transfer window. Solskjaer has brought consistency back in certain aspects. I like the way he develops the youth. Solskjaer is more or less giving everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players, like he showed he would do when he got appointed in as Man United manager. Ollie's got rid of quite a lot of players permanently, also loaned quite a few players out. So the players he's got rid of permanently, obviously, he let Daniel James go in this year's summer transfer window. He released Sergio Romero and Joe Pereira. In January, he offloaded Fossa Mensah, Odion Ighalo and Marcus Rojo. Solskjaer's let players like Young go, Valencia go, Smalling go, Darmian go, Angel Gomez go, Fellaini go, Herrera go. Also let Sanchez go and Romelu Lukaku. The players he loaned out in this year's summer transfer window was Andres Pereira, Axel Tuanzebe, Ethan Laird, Brandon Williams, Tahith Chon and Facundo Pellistri. So there you go. They are the things I've got to credit Solskjaer for. You know, Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, and he knew he had a lot to do. You've got to be honest and say he has done a pretty good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager, because he was inheriting a lot of deadwood and he's still inheriting some deadwood now. I didn't expect him to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I am shocked. You know, I have criticised Solskjaer a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United, but I've had my reasons behind it. But despite that, I still reckon Solskjaer is our best manager since Ferguson. We haven't been the same team since Ferguson retired, and a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. No one's going to replicate what Ferguson did, not in my lifetime anyway. Alex Ferguson enjoyed a 27-year tenure at Man United. He won 30-odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, so reflecting on that, Ferguson brought success to the club. But Fergie didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. So that just indicates that it takes some managers time to settle in. The only mistake Ferguson made was ever recommending David Moyes in when he retired. But the reason he did that is because he had a lot of time for Moyes, plus they're both Scottish. But yeah, 3 managers have been sacked since Ferguson retired. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. David Moyes is the worst manager we've ever had. We finished 7th under the David Moyes era. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite him winning the FA Cup. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, was it? Despite him winning the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield in his first season. Mourinho also got us a 2nd place finish in his first season. So you can say Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United. And Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. Our squad is worth around 805 million. It's like the 3rd most expensive squad in world football behind PSG and Man City. We must have brought a good 44-45 players in now since Ferguson retired. Solskjaer is inheriting players that other managers have brought in. Obviously, there's still Jones and De Gea here from the Ferguson era. You know, Juan Mata still here from the David Moyes era. There is still some players here from the Louis van Gaal era. Obviously, we got rid of quite a lot of players who Louis van Gaal brought in. And there's still players here from the Jose Mourinho era that Solskjaer is inheriting. But we have got rid of quite a few players that Mourinho brought in. Manchester United are going to sell players next year. It did mention the other week that Solskjaer is willing to sell up to 7 players in January, including Anthony Martial and Donny van de Beek. Martial is finished at Manchester United. Martial did play against West Ham in the Carabao Cup. You know, he struggled to make an impact. And he looked isolated for the vast majority of that game. A couple of chances fell for Martial, but his finishing was poor. Well, it's said not so long ago that Man United are ready to sell Anthony Martial, and we're ready to accept offers of 40 million for Martial. Barcelona are considering making a move for him next year. Martial has been a long-term target for Tottenham, and Atletico Madrid were in for him last summer. Well, before the start of the season, it said Solskjaer refuses to sell Martial as Martial remains part of his plans. Martial has been at Man United 6 years. He's got 3 years left on his contract. Martial has scored 78 goals in 263 games in all competitions. We got Martial in a deal worth 58 million from Monaco back in 2015. Martial's had 2 good seasons at Man United. Last season he was out with a knee injury for a while. Solskjaer was the one that gave Martial that number 9 shirt. Yes, Donny van der Beek has to go because Donny van der Beek's not getting enough game time at Manchester United. I've said to you, Ole has got to start him in the Premier League. He played no part against Villa yesterday. Van der Beek did play the full 90 minutes against West Ham in the Carabao Cup, and to his credit, he put a very good performance out. Obviously, he played against young boys. The other week in the Champions League, but he got taken off at half time, and he shouldn't have been taken off at half time because he was our best player in the first half of that game. Don Hutchinson has told Donny van der Beek he must leave Man United to save his career. And the other week, Paul Ince said Donny van der Beek has absolutely no chance of staying at Man United. Solskjaer rejected Donny van der Beek's exit because it said Everton were close to signing him on loan. Many clubs have been in for him. A few weeks ago, Van der Beek told Solskjaer his best position. Van der Beek reckons he'd be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8. This season is Van der Beek's second full season at Man United. Last season, most of Van der Beek's appearances come from the bench. We got Van der Beek in a deal worth 40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025 and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Lingard could offload him in January. Lingard didn't play against Aston Villa, but obviously came off the bench in the win against West Ham the other week in the league and scored the winning goal, and what a goal it was. Played against West Ham in the Carabao Cup as well. Solskjaer has said that Lingard will be a Man United player next season because he said he's red through and through. We're looking to extend Lingard's contract. Lingard's current contract at Man United expires next year. The other week, Lingard rejected a new Man United contract offer over playing time concerns despite him being in the last year of his deal. Earlier on this season, Solskjaer did confirm that Lingard remains part of his plans despite the ongoing speculation. Last season, Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Diego Dalot, he could leave in January. Dalot is our backup right back. Dalot obviously played against West Ham in the Carabao Cup in midweek. Put a very good performance out. Last season, Dalot had a loan spell with AC Milan. Reflecting on that, he gained some experience. We got Dalot 3 years ago from Porto. We paid £19 million for him, and Dalot's got a contract with Man United till 2023. Phil Jones, there's a good chance he'll leave in January. Jones has always been inconsistent, plus Jones doesn't get in R11. Jones was part of the squad for the game against West Ham in the Cup, but he didn't play any part. Well, when the summer transfer window was open, it said Jones is set to stay at Man United this season after Solskjaer told him he remains part of his plans. This season is Phil Jones' 11th season at Man United, so he's been a long-serving player. He's the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. Alex Telles, good chance we're going to offload him in January as well. Telles doesn't really get in our team, does he? The reason we brought Telles in last year was to provide competition for Luke Shaw, but we've seen to get the best out of Luke Shaw since Telles has come in. And Eric Bailly, he could possibly leave in January. I'm expecting players to leave Man United at the end of the season as well. Juan Mata will probably leave at the end of the season when his current contract expires. Earlier on this year, Juan Mata signed a 1-year contract extension. Cavani I'm expecting him to leave at the end of the season unless he leaves in January. I think Barcelona are looking to make a move for him in January. Barcelona try to get him on deadline day in the summer transfer window, but Romano said that Cavani would not leave Man United and he would not join Barcelona. Back in May, Cavani signed a one-year contract extension and he's on over £200,000 a week at Man United. I can't say I want Cavani to leave though because he's made an impact since he's come in. Didn't start yesterday against Villa, but he did come off the bench. So there you go. But Man United have got a very, very good squad. So revert back to what I said earlier. We should be winning the league. You know, obviously we've got the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo. We've got Rafael Varane, very good centre-half. You know, we've got Jadon Sancho, that's a good player. Not settled in yet. You know, some players do take time to settle in. Sancho's not enjoyed a good start to his Man United career. Well, Solskjaer's been playing him out of position. You know, he's been putting him on the left-hand side, Sancho. Sancho's more effective on the right because that's his predominant position. You know, we've got De Gea, good goalkeeper. Dean Henderson, good goalkeeper. You know, Dean Henderson wants a loan move away from Man United after David De Gea reclaimed the #1 spot. You know, we got Luke Shaw, very good left back. You know, we've got Maguire, that's a good centre half when he wants to be, but he hasn't been great so far this season. You know, Bailly, good centre half. I hope we can keep him as a backup to Maguire or Varane. So if one of them get injured, then Bailly's the plan B. You know, you've got Pisaka, that's a good right back, but there's aspects of his game that I've got to improve. You know, you've got Paul Pogba, very good. He's enjoyed a good start to the Premier League season, Pogba. You know, Pogba's got 7 assists so far. I hope Paul Pogba signs a new contract. You know, you've got Bruno Fernandes, that's very, very good, one of our best players, one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. You know, you've got Donny van de Beek, that's good, but we don't use him enough. You've got Mason Greenwood, that's very, very good. You know, he's good at creating chances. He's scored 3 goals so far in the league this season. Greenwood's been a revelation since he broke into our senior squad. You know, you've got Cavani, that's made an impact as well. And Rashford's good when he wants to be. But he has enjoyed his bad periods at Man United. You know, we'll look much better when Rashford comes back. Rashford's close to returning. He said the other week that Marcus Rashford looked sharp in training after injury shoulder operation. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.